Hi, we're Nikkei Music Reclamation Project.
And you're watching Art in the New Normal
with JCCC. I create with sound. I'm a singing guitar player, so songwriting, soundscaping, sometimes it's more sound design.
I'm a musician, composer, and creative technologist. My main instrument now is trumpet, actually, and I also play sheng, which is a traditional Chinese instrument. I like to build music tools and connect them to different communities.
I'm a cellist, a composer, and an orchestrator. Generally speaking, it's always influenced by the things that are around me. It's not really trying to convince anyone of anything, but it's just, here's what I see and how I interpret that.
To kind of call myself Nikkei was like kind of a new concept in a way. And then I realized I am a Nikkei. My story is probably different from a lot of Shinyas. And that just goes for everybody, right? Like not just Nikkei, not just Japanese American, not just Asian American. Asian American, like, come on, like, that's too big of a, everybody's story is different, everybody is different, and that's why it's cool.
It's the broadest family tree. It's everyone who is from Japan in any sense of the word belongs under this umbrella. And no matter how far you sort of seem to stray from that narrative, there's still a through line that connects you to the same people. And I think that the Nikkei project has led me to realize that there isn't a singular answer to that question.
We all have different ways of approaching how we reclaim our Nikkei heritage. Each of us has a different perspective on what that means. We're talking about identity. I don't think that's something that always is quite static. It's something that's very dynamic. In some ways, that's kind of the reason why I got into music, because at first it was this form of creative self-expression. I realized later that it wasn't just about self-expression, but about maybe collective and community expression.
It's the biggest change that I've seen in all performing arts, right? Like you can't get together. Me, I was more making a living as like more kind of a live performance. That's all gone. So like that made me think about shifting the business model, so to speak. Writing for streaming, writing for media, producing, helping people produce, doing sessions over a cloud. Just like anything else, there's always good and there's always bad, right?
I'm an improviser, and not being able to improvise in the same room at the same time, those kinds of experiences were really tricky for me. I realized that I didn't need to limit myself to collaborating with people who were just in Los Angeles. I could actually look outside of that community.
There was simultaneously a considerable lack of external stimulus from just us all having to be inside all the time, and at the same time, this like crazy saturation of current events, fear about public health, and then the kind of growing sense of public consciousness, and trying to figure out what your role as an artist is in a time where things are so scary and complicated is really difficult.
I've been doing this for a while, so at this point, like, if this becomes a job, and it is, but if this becomes a job, like the 9-to-5 thing that you kind of dread, then probably you have to think about it. Just don't lose the fun of it. Definitely easier said than done, but I mean, I myself kind of had good days and bad days. I was like, is it still fun?
I think it's so easy to become a hermit and just kind of close yourself off to your community or to other people, and to know that you're not alone, that there are other people who frankly are really excited to work with you. that you have more stories to tell, that really it's like, not to be too cheesy, but the world really does need more art and needs your voices.
And the reality is, we're all dealing with something horrifying and scary that seems to be getting worse every day, so you have to carve out a time to deal with that. While an artist is trying to figure out how to respond to all of these things that are happening, is to not be afraid to just come up with something honest that comes from you. To value your own perspective in this situation rather than trying to come up with some sort of profound response to all these things that are happening. The one thing you can certainly rely on is the validity of your own perspective, and that's worth sharing in one form or the other.